What we know tonight about an officer-involved shooting in Springfield that left a suspect dead, plus new perspective on what may have led up to the incident. New ads on TV focus on what you pay for power. We look into what both sides are saying. Will an Olympic runner accused of killing his girlfriend be set free from jail? What the judge decided next at 5.
You're watching Color 10 News at 5 in high definition.
A suspect who fired shots at Springfield police is dead tonight, and a detective is now recovering. Good evening, everyone. I'm David Oliver.
And I'm Ashley Ketz. This all went down as a special response team was serving a search warrant this morning in the 2500 block of West Grand. The suspect fired at officers and hit Officer Travis Wilson in the back. Now, it was only a graze wound, and Wilson was treated at the scene. A second round of gunfire led officers to fire on the man, and he was hit. He died at the scene. Several officers who fired on the suspect have been placed on administrative leave during this investigation.
The detective and patrol officers were on perimeter duty, meaning they were not actively engaged in the service of the search warrant. But as the situation evolved and the suspect left and engaged them in gunfire, then they took the opportunity to defend themselves at that point.
Now, 2 people who witnessed the shooting were questioned and released. Police say the suspect was wanted for questioning in some commercial burglaries that happened on West Chestnut. So far, that suspect's name has not been released.
And again, hours before this standoff with police, an incident just a few blocks west had police on the trail of this man.
Yeah, he apparently had crashed a stolen truck into a neighbor's yard. The truck ended up on its side. The neighbor spoke to Color 10 News reporter Lori Patton, who is back live on the scene of that shooting for us today.
Right, and let me just clarify something really quick. What we're looking at right here is the house where the shooting took place. The incident that we're about to talk about actually happened on West Street, north of where that incident happened. The neighbor there said she did not hear a thing until police woke her up, but what she said she saw was quite a mess and left her afraid for her husband and her 7-year-old son, who were asleep in the house when this happened.
It was scary. It was really terrifying.
Hours before the shootout with police, Sarah Isbell was awakened at her house up the road on West Street by police banging on her door around midnight.
We was half asleep, and then when, we get up and there's this truck in our yard, and I was like, holy cow, It's crazy.
Isbell says a man fleeing from police was in a stolen truck that ended up in her yard. The people here at Miller Auto say the suspect broke into the front of their building and rummaged through the building, throwing keys everywhere. They stole this truck, and they had also broken into the business next door. The man broke into Miller Motor and nearby Trantham Bait Shop.
And they said that the gentleman had robbed a bait store on Chestnut.
And the now badly damaged truck has since been towed back to their lot at Miller Motor. Isbell says the lot owner told her more than just a truck was stolen from the shop.
He said that one of the guns he got was a 12-gauge shotgun, and it was fully loaded.
Isbell says after the initial shock and then fear that the person fleeing from police was hiding somewhere near their house, she was relieved that the person running kept running. But she says the whole incident was unsettling.
Kind of freaked us out, so.
Now, I also spent time talking with business owners today about how they were impacted, the ones who were directly impacted in this incident, and we'll have more on that coming up tonight at 6. We'll also have more from that neighbor that you just heard from, who was awoken in the middle of the night and drawn into something that she never had any idea would become this big.
Yeah,
David, Ashley.
Quite the ordeal there, that is for sure. Lori Patton back live with that exclusive interview at 5 tonight. Thanks, Lori.
A 33-year-old man is dead in Osage Beach. Police believe it may be from huffing an aerosol product. Police responded to a local motel on Monday and found a woman and a deceased man. They say the couple bought 52 cans of a dustbuster aerosol product over a 3-day period. Those cans were empty. An autopsy is underway on the man. Now, this is some of those cans that were found on the site. Police say the high from huffing lasts about 15 to 30 seconds and must be repeated several times a day to achieve the desired effect. Officers are warning local businesses to watch for people buying multiple cans of products that can be inhaled, such as paint, glue, and even whipping cream.
Fire crews in Christian and Taney County had some pretty slick roads to deal with when they fought a house fire. This home is south of Busick State Forest on the 100 block of a Gate Lane. That's off of Highway 176. Around 1 this morning, the neighbor there drove by, saw some flames coming out of the back of the house, He banged on the front door, woke the woman up who lived there. Both of them got out safely. Shortly after crews got there, the fire consumed the home.
With snow and ice on the ground, the tankers are having trouble getting around on it to get backed up to dump their water, but other than that, everything else is going pretty good.
No word yet on what started that fire. Well, the ice is starting to melt.
And thankfully, we got some sunshine today. Chief Meteorologist Jamie Warner is in the weather lab to tell us how it helped.
Well, it helped. Even though temperatures didn't make it above freezing, it still allowed things to warm up because those objects out there, especially the dark objects, are absorbing that sunshine, warming up and melting off that ice. And I thought this photo right here sort of sums up today's experience. Candy-coated trees across the Ozarks, a layer of sleet on the ground. Again, we did get some melting today as we finally got some sunshine developing, especially by early afternoon. And now skies are mostly clear across the area, and temperatures are beginning to drop once again. 29 in Springfield. Your evening forecast will be a cold one. All those ingredients you like to see for a cold night are going to be in place. A little snow, sleet, ice on the ground. We're going to have mainly clear skies, and we're going to have high pressure building in from the west. So light winds, and temperatures will drop fast. 25 at 8 o'clock. I think by midnight tonight we're down around 20, and we will go into the teens. Now the weekend pattern looks warmer. In fact, I think we're looking at 50s for highs by Sunday, but next week, all in all, a cold one. And I think we could see more snow, maybe as early as Monday. More details coming up.
We'll see you then. Thanks, Jamie. Well, you've likely seen the ads running lately talking about updating Missouri's infrastructure, in turn strengthening our statewide power grid.
Yeah, proposed Senate Bill 207 would extend to electric utilities a similar process to one in place that's there right now for gas and water utilities. Those in favor of this bill say it would allow utility companies to file for more timely reimbursements of money already spent on modernizing infrastructure. Lindsay Klein is here to sort this out for us. Lindsay?
David, Ashley, this bill would only impact investor-owned utilities regulated by the Missouri Public Service Commission. Supporters say this legislation would enable critical investments in our statewide power grid to update Missouri's electric system.
That's why we need to update Missouri's 100-year-old energy regulations that are stopping investment in modern infrastructure.
It's likely you've seen ads like this one hitting our airwaves, and you might be wondering what they are. Well, these ads are in support of Senate Bill 207. The proposed legislation would allow Missouri electric companies to levy surcharges for expenses like utility poles, wires, cybersecurity investments, and other projects. A study by Missouri utility company Ameren shows the surcharge for the average customer would be 50 cents a month if the utility were to invest $100 million in such projects. Supporters say modernizing state infrastructure will strengthen reliability and help meet state and federal clean energy standards.
For less than the cost of a can of soda pop every month, we can help with the reliability of the power grid. We can create $100 million in investment strictly in infrastructure, and it creates over 1,000 good-paying jobs.
Just this week, the Senate Commerce Committee passed the bill. It will now advance to the full Senate, and a House hearing will be held next week.
And we'll continue to follow it. Thank you, Lindsay. And coming up next on Color 10 News at 5, President Obama talks with GOP leaders as the days tick down towards sequestration.
And a judge decides if this Olympian accused of murder should get out of jail.
Our 10 News at 5 continues in high definition.
A Springfield family receives official confirmation about their daughter's death. We told you on Wednesday that 46-year-old Megan Kramer was killed in that fire on the plaza in Kansas City. It had taken a while to review the medical records to confirm she was the victim. Services for Megan, who is pictured here with her niece, are pending right now. Kramer was a server at JJ's restaurant when an explosion rocked the plaza. She grew up here in Springfield, and her parents, sister, and niece all still live here.
Former Olympian Oscar Pistorius is driven away from court after being granted bail. A judge in South Africa decided he would not be a flight risk as he awaits trial for killing his girlfriend. Bail was set at $113,000. He had to turn over his passport and agree to avoid alcohol, his home, and all witnesses in the case. Defense lawyers say the runner acted on instinct when he thought an intruder was inside his upscale home. Prosecutors, though, said that Pistorius meant to kill her in the early hours of Valentine's Day when he fired 4 bullets through his bathroom door.
Automatic spending cuts known as the sequester will hit in 1 week unless Congress makes a deal. The president is talking to Republicans, but no compromise is in sight just yet. The administration says there could be nationwide flight delays if transportation gets cut. Now, Democrats say if cuts go through, dozens of federal agencies will have to trim workers, affecting everyone from food inspectors to FBI agents. Republicans accuse the White House of using scare tactics to force them into a budget deal. Congressman Billy Long gave us this statement today. He says the president continues to call for a balanced approach, but what he is looking for is more tax increases. Lost in all the media coverage of the sequester is the fact that the Congressional Budget Office has projected the government will take in more revenue than ever before, to the tune of $2.7 trillion in revenues this year. Well, diamond thieves, cranky flyers, and a wild and woody roller coaster.
Which stories made our winners and losers report this week? You'll find out next.
It is time for Winners and Losers, our weekly segment where Color 10's Rob Evans takes a look back at who shined and who should be shunned.
Well, we'll start this week's segment with a big winner, Silver Dollar City and perhaps all of Branson. The theme park recently unveiled the second fastest wooden roller coaster on the planet. Now, the city of Branson also hoping it'll bring in more tourists and more cash.
People aren't going to travel just to ride a roller coaster. They're going to travel and experience everything that Branson has while they're here.
Outlaw Run will open March 15th. It'll have the steepest drop of any wooden roller coaster, and it's also the first wooden roller coaster to twist upside down. 2, 1. Try this at home. 9 golfers in North Carolina sinking a putt at the same time. It took them 28 times to get it right. Don't try this one at home, though. You're witnessing the first true backflip by a car. It took 4 years to plan this jump. Well, time now for this week's losers. We begin with former Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr.
I'm sorry I let everybody down.
Jackson pleaded guilty this week to misusing $750,000 worth of campaign funds. He now faces up to 5 years in prison. And parents, get ready to get outraged. Without a doubt, the biggest loser this week, this Idaho man, charged with assault after authorities say he smacked a crying 1-year-old during a flight.
Can you imagine someone wanted, to hurt him?
Jessica Bennett says she sat next to Joe Hunley on a plane earlier this month. She says he called her adopted son a racial slur, then smacked him because he was crying.
He has suffered effects from this for sure.
At the time, Hunley was president of an airplane parts company. The company says he no longer works there.
Well, if you agree or disagree with our choices this week, let us know on the Color 10 Facebook page. That story about the slapping really was pretty heartbreaking stuff to watch this week. We are happy, though, to see some sunshine again. This is the view from our Color 10 tower camera.
But if you think the ice is melting now, just wait until Sunday. Jamie's got the forecast next.
Here's a look at stock quotes of local interest. Color 10 News will continue in a moment. And now weather with Color 10 News Chief Meteorologist Jamie Warner.
Welcome back. Well, it was nice to get that sunshine back today along with the blue skies this afternoon. Temperatures did manage to approach freezing, but that's all they did was approach the freezing mark. It's already starting to cool off. 29 now Winds light out of the west-northwest at 8 miles per hour. Here's what we've got going on over the next several days. First thing I'll be watching is this little weather system right about in there. That's a little weak weather system that'll pass by to the south. Earlier in the week, it looked like it might deliver us a chance for some flurries. Looks like it's just not going to have enough moisture to work with, but there'll be a little cloudiness as a result as it moves on by, especially across Arkansas during the day on Saturday. More importantly, though, is this system right here now beginning to make its way into the Pacific Northwest. That system could lead to our next opportunity for some wintry weather on Monday. Certainly we're going to get some precipitation out of it. The question is, what kind will we get? And I'll get to that here in a second. Let's talk about this weekend's forecast, starting with tonight. Of course, there's snow, there's sleet, there's still some lingering ice on the ground. It extends all the way south down into Arkansas, especially the northwestern corner of Arkansas, and that snowpack plus the mainly clear skies and high pressure building in from the west, giving us basically calm winds, I think, by sunrise on Saturday will allow temperatures to tumble into the teens. Going for 17 here in Springfield, but wouldn't be surprised if it's not a little bit colder than that. The bottom line is it's going to be a very cold night across the region. As I mentioned, skies should be mainly clear. Tomorrow, there's that system passing by, maybe a little bit of cloudiness with it, but skies should stay mainly sunny. And then overnight Saturday night, another clear night, and then Sunday looks like a sunny day. And it looks like temperatures, especially if we can get rid of most of that ice tomorrow, and I think we may, that will help, plus winds out of the southeast to warm temperatures into the 50s. In fact, it looks like maybe 55 Sunday afternoon. And we've seen a string of nice Sundays before the next storm arrives. And that next storm will arrive on Monday, and it is now looking like it may take a more southerly track. I'll really be watching this upper level low. It looks like it's going to be a potent system, and the exact track of that upper level low will tell the tale as to who gets what. Right now it looks like rain across northern Arkansas and southeastern Missouri. It's going to be hard to get snow into these areas, but I think we could see maybe some rain in the morning here with a changeover from showers to snow overnight Monday night, with a higher threat for maybe some heavy snowfall a bit further northwest. Something we'll have to fine-tune, but watch it through the weekend and see how this evolves with this next storm. Overnight tonight, clear, 17 for the low. Some areas down into the mid-teens. It looks like everybody dropping into the upper teens, with the exception of maybe Mountain Home, about 20 for a low there, a real heat wave. 41 tomorrow with mainly sunny skies, finally going above the freezing mark. It looks like the warmest readings will be further south, where there's less of that sleet and ice on the ground. There's your 7-day forecast. Looking at next week, it looks like it will be a chilly forecast. And again, we'll be watching that forecast closely for Monday.
All right, Jamie, thanks. Well, two big TV events are coming up this weekend.
One for movie lovers and the other for NASCAR fans.
It's very flattering, and it's a fortunate situation to find myself in.
All eyes are going to be on this driver who has a great starting position in the Daytona 500. See how she's already made history after this.
Well, even before she starts her engine, race car driver Danica Patrick will have made history Sunday at the Daytona 500. She is the first woman to begin a major NASCAR race from the top starting position. Does that give her an advantage? Most people say no. The last time a pole winner actually won the race was in 2000. That race starts at noon on Sunday. And final preparations are underway for Hollywood's big night on Sunday, the Academy Awards.
So the big question, which film is going to take Best Movie? Well, some say Argo is the film to beat this year. It was fabulous. Ben Affleck's movie about that rescue mission in Iran has already won the Screen Actors Guild Award, and it seems to have some momentum.
A lot of people see Daniel Day-Lewis as the favorite for Best Actor in Lincoln. That would be a record third Oscar for a lead actor. Sally Field might be take the Best Actress for her role in that film as well. And something new to watch this year, guys. I know you're not going to like this. No more models bringing those statuettes out to the winners. Instead, though, 6 aspiring filmmakers attending college will take their place.
Always fun to watch the Oscars, and I guess you'll be watching the red carpet stuff. I know Jamie's always excited about the red carpet coverage, aren't you, Jamie?
I'll be working Sunday. I'll be able to watch it here, and my eyes will be glued to the TV.
It wouldn't be the Oscars without Joan
right?
Rivers' snappy comments about somebody looking bad.
That's about all I gleaned.
All right, that's our time here at 5. We'll leave you on that note and say thanks for watching.
And we hope you can join us back here at 6. See you then.